It's been quite some time since I have put out a new podcast episode, and I'm thrilled to bring to you season 2 of the It's All Clutter podcast. If you are a new listener, welcome. If you are a returning listener, welcome. This is the podcast that talks about clutter in all of its form because it's all clutter and all clutter is connected. Clutter can be emotional, clutter can be financial, clutter can be social, clutter can be the stuff, right? It's all clutter. It's all connected. On this first episode of our official second season, we're going to talk about defining your clutter. What is clutter? I'm so thrilled you're here. Stick around. Okay, so we have a podcast all about clutter, but what the heck is clutter anyway? First off, only you can define your clutter. What somebody else might see as trash may be something super sentimental to you, and it's definitely not trash and it's definitely not clutter. It's important to you. I have two ways of defining clutter. One is a more traditional definition, and the other really kind of looks at the bigger picture. So let's start with the more traditional definition. Clutter is anything in your home that does not have a home. So, okay, let's say clutter is anything in your house that does not have a home. If you have items in your house and you don't have space for them, they don't have a home within your house, that's clutter. So you want anything that is important enough to you to keep, to have space to live, have a space to go home to. Anything in your house that's just homeless is clutter. If you have things in your home that you want to hang on to, they're not actually clutter based on our next definition. They're things you want to keep. Honor the stuff by creating space for it, right? So make sure you take that clutter and turn it into something that you love by honoring it with space. My second definition of clutter is anything in your life that is impeding forward movement. Now, that could be things, physical objects, but it could also be relationships. It could also be financial situations. It could also be any emotional baggage that you're carrying. If there is something in your life that is preventing you from moving forward, that is clutter. And only you can determine what is clutter. Only you can say, this is preventing me from moving forward. Sometimes, if you have something that's emotional, that's holding you back, tackling the physical clutter, the stuff, can be the key to unlocking the emotional clutter. Always proceed with lots of love for yourself because decluttering is not just throwing things away. It's curating your life, letting go of the things that are holding you back, letting go of the physical representations that are holding you back, letting go of the emotional things that are holding you back, letting go of the experiences that are holding you back. I mentioned earlier in the podcast that only you can define your clutter. And here's a little gentle reminder that if you have somebody else in your life and you feel like they have a lot of clutter, it's worth asking them, would you consider this clutter? Instead of saying, I think this is all trash, say, would you consider this clutter? Maybe they don't. And maybe that's a good gateway to a conversation about what you can do to be truly helpful to them. If there's somebody in your life that wants to help you with your clutter, but is pretty unkind with their words and is instructing you just to toss out everything, find a way to have a conversation with them and figure out what could actually be helpful. Maybe they can be the person that takes the bags of stuff to the donation center. Maybe they could just make you food, nourish you during the emotional process of decluttering. Maybe they could just leave the house for a little while so that you have the space to declutter that is really helpful, truly helpful to you. These conversations can be hard, but once you have them and once you figure out how to move forward together with other people that you're helping to declutter or that want to help you to declutter, it can make a really big difference. I recently had a viewer write in and ask a question. The question that she asked was, I have a pretty decluttered home. My living spaces are decluttered, but my bedroom and my bathroom have a lot of stuff in them. My daughter insists that I need to declutter these areas, but they don't bother me. I don't spend a lot of time there. In your professional opinion, do I have to declutter if the stuff in the space is not actually bothering me? It's not clutter to me. It's clutter to her. I thought that was a good question to kind of wrap up our first podcast of season 2. The answer is only you can define your clutter, right? However, that being said, you can live however you want. But when it comes to a lot of stuff in certain rooms in your house, we want to make sure that you are safe. So that's the primary concern. So if somebody asks me if I have to declutter, my response really is let's look at the safety in your home. Is the stuff in your bathroom and bedroom hazardous at all? Is it a tripping hazard? Is there the chance that something could fall on you? Is it a fire entrapment hazard? Is it an environmental hazard? For example, is it creating a lot of dust? Or is it creating perfect homes for rodents? So let's just think about, are you safe in your environment? And then if you are, you decide how much stuff you get to keep. That's your choice. So safety first, and then we move forward from there. Look for a new podcast dropping every week for season 2 of It's All Clutter. And remember, community crushes clutter. If you need community to help you move forward with your clutter, please consider joining one of our judgment-free programs. We would love to cheer you on every step of the way. We do decluttering differently. Have a great day and see you on the next episode.